Good evening, my sweet, wonderful friends. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't been to my channel, I'm Pawnee, and I'm bringing you Mama's Fireside Chronicles. I appreciate you coming in. You can support me by purchasing a book online. You can get it at Barnes and Nobles or even on Amazon, any good bookstore. Lots of them carry them. It's called Mama's Fireside Chronicles Poems and Parables. It's just a nice little support factor for me. I really appreciate it. And I just love having you come in. Another great way to support me is to comment, like, and subscribe. Okay? I really appreciate it. So I have a great little message today. I'm sharing a message that God gave with me. He does that sometimes. So you see, I get a little bit excited about my message, and I don't get to share all of my messages with you, but some of them I do. And this is a lovely one. It's another food for thought. Okay. So today we're going to use my board again. I like using the board, keeps me in line, keeps me focused, and I hope it helps you. Again, if you don't like me to move to the board, let me know in the comments. Okay. Let's check. Today it's called Are You Mostly Right? Beloved, are you one of these people, kind of like me? Well, most everything I do is pretty good. I know that. I'm in line. Mostly everything I do is okay. I think I follow certain guidelines in my lifestyle, and I'm getting better and better by the day. But you know what I have noticed? This is just me. Now, maybe you haven't, but maybe you have. Do you have a couple of little things that you wonder about? Do you have a something on your mind? Do you have some things in your like, hmm, I'm wondering about this. This isn't really a sin or anything, but just something you're wondering about. Little things, like not something God would probably be concerned about. How about do you think or wonder about that thing or those things very often? I think about some things. I do have concerns once in a while, and I think on them. And I might think on them almost every day. Well, why do you suppose we have some things that we just can't seem to get off of our mind, beloved? Did you ever notice that some things just keep coming up? They're always there. They're almost irritating. They're not a big deal. And you just think, Pawnee, you're just being silly or whatever. Or like, whatever. That's nobody cares about that. Have you done that? Yet it just keeps coming back. It's kind of crazy, actually. Oops, my bad. So, why do we have some things we just can't seem to get off our mind? Well, my beloved friend, Jesus is the reason. Jesus, when we have a good relationship with Him, or this same relationship I'm talking about, this closeness, yeah, I'm okay. We're like this. When He finds something, He's digging because he wants a good, clear, transparent thing. And I told you before, there's a lot of things that we don't even we no capiche. We don't even understand some things because I don't know, that doesn't make any sense to us. Well, Jesus brings them to the front, and He is ever there. If you have a relationship with Christ, He's always bringing that thing back to the forefront. He's bringing it to your mind, right? Okay. Why do we care about such trivial things, my beloved friend? Why would we? Why would we care about little things? Well, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Okay. Who would you want to talk to about these kind of concerns? Now, I do understand there's wonderful pastors and there's leaders in the church and you know, there are people. But for me, for Pawnee, particularly if these are private things I'm talking about, and we could be talking about something, could be something intellectual, but it could be something emotional, could be something physical, okay? Beloved, it might be something spiritual and it's something nagging you. Something nagging you. Okay, who would you want to talk to about that? Yes, my dear beloved friends, Jesus. For Pawnee, it is Jesus. Let me ask you this. Who who is it that takes care of the details when you yield? The reason I take things that are private, particularly spiritual things, I take them to Jesus because I lay them before him and I yield to him because I know, beloved, I know who takes care of the detail. It is Jesus. Jesus takes care of all the details. So when we're looking or feeling or have a concern or a doubt about something, and we have a good relationship with Christ, we know this. You can say it. Go ahead and say it. It's okay. If you know that your relationship is strong and bold with Christ, speak it out. You don't have to hide it or be I should kind of well, I don't know. No. Speak it right out. Proclaim it from a high mountain. Okay? The point that I'm trying to make to you, bring them to him because he will take care of all the details. In fact, if you brought something to Christ, if you brought something to him, this is bothering me, Jesus, and you really, really honestly brought it to Christ, and you said, Jesus, help me with this. Well, beloved, I told you in the last little episode, he's going to put pressure on you. He's going to keep coming. Well, take a look. Can you take Pon, can you just take a look? I need you to Pon, I know. That's awesome, Pon, but can you take a look over here? Okay. So, he takes care of the details. That's part of the details, bringing it to the forefront. That's what he does. So, let me ask you this. If you made a list of all the things that you have private concerns about or doubts about or things you're wondering about, and beloved, I do want you to be honest here. It's important that we're honest with ourselves because Christ is right there. This is about he and I, or you and him. I hope I spoke that correctly. But, so make a list. If you were going to make a list, be honest, beloved, how long would your list be? How long? I made the list. I made a list. I never ask you to do something that I'm not doing or haven't tried myself. I want to see if it works or if it's powerful or exactly what it is. Well, there were 3 things on my list that came up right away. Okay? There were 3 things on my list. And your list, beloved, how long would your list be? Make a list. So here, look at this. Make your list today, beloved. Just make a list. Come on, you can do it. Number 1, make a list today. Number 2, take one item from the list into prayer. This is one thing you're going to take to the Lord. Make your list. I had 3 things. Take one item at a time into prayer before the Lord. Take it to the Lord. Praying, asking the Lord to reveal this thing that's bothering you. And then address the thing. Beloved, if the thing you've been concerned about is a nothing burger, he'll no sweat, Pond. That's nothing. Whatever. But let me just share with you. If he brings something, if you give him a list, beloved, first of all, let me say, this is not going to be easy. Okay? It's not easy, number 1, to make the list through honesty. I'm not talking about trying to make things, well, I shouldn't have, I done sure shouldn't have ate that ice cream on Thursday. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is being straightforward and honest with and in front of the Lord. Okay? You know these things I'm talking about. Maybe you only have one little thing, or maybe you don't have any. I say hallelujah. This is not going to be easy, my friend. Show grace to yourself. Let me just say to you, the first thing that's revealed to you may be the number 1 thing he wants you to confront. Sorry about that. That may be the number 1 thing he wants you to confront. So whatever he shows you, here's an example. I used to teach and used to be a youth pastor in a church and was very involved in the church and many, many years. Deeply invested. Financially, physically, emotionally. And then some things happened in the church and I left the church. The church broke. That's what happens when churches are fragmenting, they break. And sometimes they'll break multiple times before they actually fragment and go into the dust. Well, I never went back to a church religiously. In other words, I never found a home. I go to church intermittently, periodically. I go teaching, so da-da-da-da-da. But I have not had community. I would say in Cave Junction, Oregon is as close as I have had to being in community. And that was the first thing that was on my list. It's pretty interesting. He will bring to, and he brought it to me within literally 2 minutes. He brought, oh, what? I wrote it down and then something else came up right away about you cannot be in community without the church, beloved. The church is Christ's body. He made that very clear to me. I'm praying now that he lead me to a church. Okay? Okay, let's look here. So the point that I was making there is the first thing that's revealed to you, and he will reveal it, beloved, will be or may be the number 1 thing he wants you to confront. Beloved, it's very possible that if you have more than 1 item on your list, beloved, They may all be connected. He may be literally gathering the loose ends. Gathering. He may be gathering something totally different with you. Of course, I'm sure he is. But my point to you is, if you have more than one, they may well be connected. Okay? Think on this. Make your list. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to, after you've made your list, I want you to stand back and look at the entire list. If there's one thing, fine. Still stand back and consider it. If there are 3 things, if there's 5 things, stand back and look at the entire list as if it were one. And then, beloved, as I'm always trying to get you to do, look for a pattern. Are they connected? What do you see? Do you see a pattern, beloved? I'm just going to tell you, of the 3 items, I'm going to tell you 2. I'm not going to tell you the third one, but he told me church. He wants me to consider the community of the church. I'm part of his body, and his little finger or whatever I am there has been in a cast and has not been a grand participant in his body. That's what the church is. The community is his body, and the body is his church. Okay? You showed me that very clearly. But one of the things that came up, and it came out of nowhere, I don't know what it was. One of the things on my list, the word was isolation. So I have actually been isolating myself since I got hurt in the church. I've been isolating myself. I said, Lord, will you show me a church that I can really like and that I like? I don't care if you like it. That's not about you liking the church. Oh, I totally got away from me there. My point to you is these things, beloved, there may be a pattern. Look at what you see. Stand back and look, beloved, to see if there is a pattern. Okay? Beloved, I want you to make your list today. Okay? Make a list. Just your little private list. These are things that are weighing on your mind all the time. Let's get them cleared up. If they don't mean anything, get them off the table. But if they're important for a reason. He's putting them there. If your relationship is as you see it with him, as you feel it is, he's going to reveal to you, and relatively quickly, I might add. Number 1, it's on your list, so it is prominent. Number 2, if your relationship is as it is Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus is the one. He's putting it out in front, saying, look, Pon. Look, baby girl. Look, my dear boy. Look, look, look. Look at this. Let's talk. Okay, well, I thought this was quite interesting. Thank you for joining me today. I very much appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. And again, make your list today. I'm Mama. And beloved, these are my Chronicles. Good night.